My name is Kyle Smith, and I am a straight white blue collar worker. My first moment that I realized that I was like this was my very first experiences into college. It actually turned out that when I came into college, I thought everyone else had just worked like crazy to get there themselves, and I found myself not having as much money to spend on unneeded items like alcohol, nicotine, cigarettes, stuff like that, as many of the other students, and I wondered where they got the money. And during the entire time that they were spending this money, I was actually working at a cigarette shop in town. And I would have to work there every single week just to continue to make my money for the next year of college. With this struggle, I found myself missing out on many different things, but I pushed myself forward ahead in time as opposed to the other people. Um, with this, I came to find out that most of the other students had no worries to pay for college, as many of their family members or their parents paid for their entire college and they never had to put a dime in. Whereas me, I worked all since I was very, very young, doing odds and ends jobs to make that money so that way I could buy my own first car, I could pay for my own college, and I worked and worked and worked, and I currently am right now. I pay all my own university fees and tuition just to make sure I can afford the stuff, and because my family, we frankly don't have the kind of money to spend on spending for my education. I grew up in a very, very poor family, and most of the time that I was working when I was a little kid, most of that money went to helping the family pay bills, pay for food, stuff like that. And it came through all this that I finally realized that the one thing that has made me such more prepared for everything that I have seen in life so far was construction. I worked all these odds and ends jobs and then eventually fell on construction. I worked for a guy who, he was a farmer, he knew this construction owner, sent me out to him one day instead of having me go out work out in the fields with a lot of the migrant workers. And I loved construction. I fell in love with it. And it sent me and showed me that there was all these different problems where I would be seen as lesser to many people due to the skin of my color. I mean, the color of my skin. Whereas many times on the job site I was called the white boy or cracker. And I didn't understand why this made any sense because we were on the same side here. We were trying to finish the job. And that led me to push myself harder and harder and harder to earn the respect of these people so I could be seen as an equal of each and every person on the job site. This led in one thing to another, and then I finally decided I wanted to help be the change I'd like to see in the world, where there's less of a stigma placed upon everyday average white people rather than having this stigma that all white people are bad. And I wanted to use construction to push that. So I decided to come to Bowling Green State University for construction management, and I pursued my degree in construction management, and I met so many different people that were able to share the same exact views as I did in all of these different facets, and it just opened my eyes to a whole new world. Also, during this video, if you can hear my roommates, I do apologize for that. I tried to speak loud and I tried to use the microphone on my earbuds so that you could hear me more clearly.